Hi, welcome to Elegant Investor. My name is Sridhar. I'm going to present you a preview of the Blue Chip Avenues, a premium training program. Blue Chip Avenues is a training program which is going to help you create wealth by investing in the right blue chip companies or blue chip stocks. So let's get started. This is a standard disclaimer. So the agenda for the video is as follows. First, I will introduce myself and give you a brief intro about my past experience and my profile. And then I will show you the wealth creation potential of blue chips, and finally introduce you to the Blue Chip Avenues product and webinar. Okay, just a brief introduction about me. I worked for over 10 years as a financial analyst, and I also authored a lot of articles on personal finance investing, and I've trained new analyst students as well as industry professionals. In terms of my education, I did MBA in finance, and I also did certification courses in derivatives, fundamental analysis, and equity research offered by NSE. And having gained hands-on experience in the industry, I also managed my own funds, and that gave me a lot of practical exposure to managing my own portfolio. I did a lot of mistakes. I also learned a lot from my mistakes and fine-tuned my methodology of selecting stocks and managing my portfolio. And here I'm going to teach you a few things which I learned from my past experience. So I also train new analyst students and industry professionals, as mentioned earlier. After this, I got the idea to create a program called 10 Steps to Becoming a Ninja Investor. And this was offered by a website called insiderinvestments.in. This program was launched a few years back, and it received tremendous response and positive feedback. And it became a super hit product. And once this program was launched, people wanted more and more of it, and we did 2 or 3 different sessions. And after this success, I got the motivation and inspiration to start Elegant Investor. So what are blue chips? These are the largest and most admired companies, and these are the industry leaders and trendsetters. And these companies are financially robust and strong. A lot of examples come to mind. Some of the leading names in India like Infosys, TCS, ITC, HDFC, Hindustan Unilever. These are all large companies which are well known. So I've taken 3 examples here. ITC, which is the largest FMCG company and cigarette manufacturer, and HDFC is one of the leading housing finance companies, and Hindustan Lever is another top FMCG company. So these companies own the best products and brands, and they have the best business franchise. They have a large distribution network and a large presence throughout the country. So these companies are also able to withstand economic ups and downs, and they are highly resilient. So just to check the wealth creation power of blue chips, whether these companies are really able to create wealth for investors, I did a small research of these companies over the last 5 years. I took the stock price of these 5 companies for last 5 years, and I found this. Hindustan Unilever actually created 2.2 times returns in the last 5 years. So if you invested rupees 1 5 years ago, your money would have actually become 2.2 times, or almost double. And in ITC, if you had invested 1 rupee, it would have become 3.5 times, more than triple. And look at HDFC, again it has almost tripled your money. So these are the kind of returns that you can expect from blue chip companies. So let me take this example a little further. Assume that you have invested about 1 lakh rupees in each of these companies. 1 lakh in HUL, 1 lakh in ITC, and 1 lakh in HDFC. So your total investment would be 3 lakh rupees. So after 5 years, what will happen? Let us see that. Let's say you invested 3 lakh. After 5 years, the 3 lakh becomes 8.5 lakhs. It's almost tripled. So your returns are 2.8x or 180% over a period of 5 years. So on a yearly basis, the annual returns are 23% per annum. So 23% is a huge amount of return when you compare it to traditional investment. So just think about it. Your fixed deposits, recurring deposits, bonds, debentures, any traditional investment will not be able to give you more than 10% or 12% per annum. So here we are talking about 23% per annum. and this excludes transaction costs and any dividends. So I have not taken these into account. So just in terms of the price increase, we have made 23% per annum. Okay, there is a small catch here. So does it mean that any blue chip will create wealth like we were talking about in the previous slide? Not really. So this is where the selection of the right blue chips comes into place. So any blue chip is not a wealth creator. We need to be able to identify the true blue chips by filtering out some companies which could be black sheep or laggards. So there could be several black sheeps which have to be weeded out. And secondly, we need to choose the best among the blue chip stocks so that we get the best returns for our invested money. So we'll now learn how to do this using the Blue Chip Avenues program. How this works is like this. First, you need to have a set of skills or abilities, and then you need to have some tools and techniques to perform your analysis and to find the best stocks. So let us see what are the different abilities required. First is you need to develop the natural ability to pick great businesses. And second, you need to be able to separate the top performers from the laggards. So this we discussed in the previous slide. And you need to be able to build a diversified portfolio across different stocks or different sectors in order to make sure that your portfolio is not impacted by one particular sector or one particular stock. So how do you do all this? You can do this using the BCF framework. And this framework also provides you the above abilities plus the tools and techniques required to pick the right companies. So it's a very broad framework which will give you all these tools and techniques plus the abilities. The next slide we'll go into detail here. So you might be wondering what are the different aspects or different contents that are covered in the training. There are three parts to it. The first one is the basics of investing or fundamentals, where we will talk about how to invest, what are the different options available, and we'll know how to get started in the world of investing. So that will give you a solid foundation initially. And after that, we'll look at the overview of blue chips. We'll understand the features of blue chips, some examples, and the pros and cons of blue chip companies. So this will give further, foundation on understanding the blue chip companies. And finally, part 3, we'll look at analysis of blue chip companies and their valuation. So for analysis of blue chip companies, we will use a special tool called Miracle. Don't get me wrong here. This is not the English word miracle. This is a simplified stock selection tool that I have designed so that anyone can use this particular tool to select stocks. So once you understand this tool, you will be able to analyze companies and you will be able to identify the best companies for your portfolio. And finally, you will also understand how to do a valuation of a company to understand if the particular company is undervalued, overvalued, or fairly valued. So analysis and valuation is going to be a very important part, and the Miracle framework is going to simplify your stock selection process. So now that you have a fair idea of the contents, what are the benefits for you? What's in it for me? You might ask. So you get access to the BCA training, which is highly valuable, and you get the Miracle stock selection framework, which is worth hundreds of dollars if it is available abroad. But I'm giving it to you for a very affordable price, and I'm also presenting you some analysis of a case study of a blue chip company, and I also tell you how to do the valuation of a company and different methods or approaches. So all these are actually a good combination of things that are required to value a blue chip company and analyze a blue chip company and build your portfolio of blue chips. So I hope you like this presentation. We are coming to the end of it. So what next? If you have any questions, comments, please post it down on this website. So book your seat for the BCA webinar, which is going to start in a matter of few weeks. So there are limited seats here. So please hurry up. To participate, please send me an email with the subject BCA to sridharcw@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. Thanks for your time. Happy investing.